So today we are starting to look at word problems. We're going to try some easy-ish ones today, and then we're going to build up and see if we can get to some of the tougher ones. So listen, it is so important. I know that some of these you're going to be able to read and just know the answer because you're doing the work in your head. But I keep telling you, we're going to build on this. So we want to make sure that you know how to write them out. And then as they get harder and harder, and you can't do them in your head, you'll already have the process down, okay? So please bear with me, even if today, if you read this and you can think of the answer, don't please still just follow through the steps so that when you get to the hard ones and you can't do it in your head, you know what you're doing. All right, so if we take a look at the steps at the top, when solving word problems, we're going to follow these 5 steps. 1, identify the variable. The variable is really just what you're trying to find. So we're going to pick a letter, we're going to say what it stands for, and then we're going to solve for that variable. 2, we're going to write an equation. We usually just take the words and we change them into math. 3, solve the equation. So once you have solved the equation, you're going to get an answer. You're going to give me that answer in words in step 4. And then 5, check your work and check for reasonableness. So for example, let's say that I was solving a problem and I was trying to figure out something like how many shirts you bought. And I was doing a problem like that. And that's what I was trying to find. How many shirts you bought given whatever. And I got a negative answer. Does that make any sense? No, you can't buy negative shirts. What if I got a decimal? That doesn't make any sense. Right. So it depends what you're talking about. Sometimes it does make sense to get a decimal, or I could get a negative. I could, if I was talking about money, right? If I was trying to figure out maybe how much the shirts cost. Well, we talk about fractions of a dollar all the time, right? Dollars and cents. Cents are just fractions of a dollar. So it all depends what you're solving for, and but it is important to go back and make sure that it makes sense. Does your answer make sense given the problem that you're trying to solve? Okay? So if we take a look at example 1, the sum of twice a number and 21 is 83. Find the number. So if we go back up to the steps, the very first thing we're supposed to do is identify the variable. Well, I always like to kind of look at the end. It says find the number. That's what I'm going to make my variable, is whatever number it is. I don't know what it is, so I actually write what letter do you want to be the variable? You can pick whatever you want. I almost always use X, but you could use what you want. Let X equal the number. That's what I'm trying to find. So I go ahead and I write it down. X is going to be the number, whatever this number is. Right now I don't know it, but I'm going to figure it out. Step 2, write an equation. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to read it, and I'm going to try and change those words into math. The sum of twice a number and 21 is 83. See if you can write that equation. You guys have done one similar to this before where you've written the equation. See if you can change those words into math. The sum of twice a number and 21 is 83. You're doing step 2. You're trying to write an equation that models this sentence. So that sentence is in English. I need you to write that sentence in math. Devin, you think you got it? What is it?
Can it be 2x plus 21 equals? Or no?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the sum. All right, let's go back and break it down in case you're lost here. What operation is sum? Careful, it's addition. Sum means addition. What's twice a number mean? 2 times the number. My number is X, so I'm going to have 2 times X. If you used a different variable, you would have 2 times whatever your variable is. So I'm going to have the sum of 2x, twice the number, and 21. So let's write that. The sum of those 2 numbers. And then you see the word is. What's the word is in math? Equals. Yes, when you see the word is, you're going to put an equal sign. Equals 83.
That's what I got.
There's step 2 completed. You wrote the equation modeled by the sentence. Oh, you're ahead of me. I'm not there yet. Step 3, now, in step 3, you kind of get to forget that it was ever a word problem. You're just going to solve your equation. Just like you did on your test and on the midterm, you just have an equation, you're going to solve it. So you're going to solve that equation like you always do. So everybody take a minute and solve this equation if you haven't already. Did you guys get what I got?
Yep.
Perfect.
I personally used n as the variable.
Good. So now, step 4, answer the question in words. So, for word problems, you give your answer as a sentence. I know, you guys don't like writing sentences, especially in math class. Well, too bad, so sad. One sentence, I'm sure you can handle it, okay? So all you have to say is something along the lines of, the number is 31. Or something equivalent to that. Step 5, check your work and check for reasonableness. So this time I was just trying to find the number. It didn't say that it was going to be a whole number or an integer. So any number I got kind of makes sense, but only one number is actually going to work. So if I just quickly check it, the sum of twice a number. So if my number is 31, what's twice my number? 62. Is 62 plus 21, is that really 83?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So I know that I'm right.
I can't see it.
Sorry.
Possibly.
And that's it. There's a word problem, solved completely, checked, makes sense. We're good to go.
80,